Welcome, my friends. It is Monday, December 19th, 2011. As we prepare to close out the year, 2011 is certainly long in the tooth. We mourn the death of the dear leader, Kim Jong-il, but of course his president father is still president, even though he died in the mid-1990s, because he is eternal leader, and now they have passed on the flame to the latest runt in a jumpsuit engaging in genocide against his own people. And before we talk about the sad passing of Kim Jong-il and get into the exciting news that Ron Paul has turbocharged to the pole position as the official campaign for president begins, as the Republican primary is about to kick off in Iowa, he is now dominating with a healthy lead at number one, the guy that couldn't win, can't win. More than 80% of the people that end up getting the win in Iowa end up getting the Republican nomination, but now they're back saying now Iowa doesn't matter as Ron Paul surges into the pole position as the campaign kicks off. So we're going to be talking about that as well. But first, I need to get to some very, very serious news this evening. And that deals with the latest developments on Kellogg, Brown and Root. And the fact that they were given the government contract to build the FEMA camps, the latest round of FEMA camps that were built in 2006, the $380+ million just to build those new camps. Well, even though we had phone numbers, emails, it was a public contract that they got, people didn't believe it. No mainstream media picked up our story. And every day, mainstream media follows our lead and picks up reports that we break. And we're a credible news organization, and everybody knows that. But this is something that was totally blacked out. Now, thanks to listeners pointing it out, on the official federal government contract website, they have the National Responder Support Camp that deals with concertina wire, blockades, jails, the whole nine yards. We have from back in May of this year, where the federal government quietly went out and put out the bid not to build more camps, but to prepare on a 72-hour notice, man the camps all over the United States. And of course, they're getting ready for rioting and passing laws, use the military domestically on citizens and have us disappear and torture us and censor the internet. It's all happening. Those of you that said that it wasn't happening, it's all happening. And so now we don't just have the overall umbrella contractor, Kellogg, Brown and Root of Halliburton, going and getting subcontractors to be paid around the clock to be standing by to fully deploy at the camps. But now we have the federal government from back in May when they went and originally went to get the general contract. So there it is, fedbizopps.gov. You can go there and you can look at HSFEHQ-10-R-0027, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Homeland Security, the foreign banking receivership arm to destroy states' rights and national sovereignty. And you can read what they need, what they're asking for, the preparations that they are gearing up for, and you can see the groups that filed for it: Critical Response Networks, LLC, Safety Temps, Ltd., Wamban Group, LLC, First Choice Financial Group, LLC, and you see here who filed also, a for-profit organization, and you can see all the different contracts that they're requesting to carry out different functions at the camp, and some of these are for security and jail personnel. They've been hiring also internment specialists at a breakneck speed, both civilian and Army, as well as Marine. And there it is, Kellogg, Brown and Root Services, and it's Clinton Drive, Houston, Texas. Yeah, I've driven by that. So there you have it. Oh, that's interesting. The lead singer of The Doors is running it, Jim Morrison. and the media, you can call that number. You can call Mr. Jim Morrison. You can email him, but no one will report on this. And ask what the Emergency Camp Gear Up is for. You know, we have the Emergency Centers Act, we have the Military Commissions Act, we have the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Act. We have all these admissions that, yeah, for hurricanes, tornadoes, disasters, civil unrest, economic collapse, they admit that it's also for political reasons, just like with the Japanese. The head of the big national American-Japanese group has been on this show and gone public with their concerns about all this. But no, quote, mainstream media, that means big corporate New World Order owned liars, have touched this. And we need to have our listeners contact them, contact radio hosts across the country, and say, hey, do you think this is important? Do you think that this is a issue? Because some people are living in denial about this, kind of like there's denial going on with the NDAA that a month ago we began to report on. People said, look, it doesn't affect U.S. citizens because this subsection says so. It was written deceptively, as Congressman Paul and others have said. But then in another section, it says, unless we say so. And then in about a week or two into that, about 2 weeks ago, the authors of it, Senator Carl Levin, Lindsey Graham, McCain, they all got asked about it. And they said, yeah, it's for citizens. We'll lock you up and you'll never be seen again. And then the president had his spokesman say, oh, he's against this. And then Levin had to come out. We played the clip like 4 times. We'll play it again here in a minute. And say, no, the president asked us to do this. Okay? And then the president said he wasn't going to sign it, or his surrogates did, and now he's saying he's going to sign it any day now. Obama's U-turn on definite detention bill, a historic tragedy for the Bill of Rights. And that's gotten wide coverage. But I thought that I would go ahead and get into the NDAA secret torture provision. Now, you've heard me mention that it's the Inde Posse Comitatus. Troops can operate anywhere in the U.S. and worldwide. It's a declaration of war against everybody and just a blank check. And it transfers all that power directly to the president. So the Congress becomes more and more ceremonial or vestigial, just like in the days of Rome, as the Caesars took more power during that decline. And so we got together a whole bunch of clips of different senators that sponsored and supported the bill, talking about, I want you to be scared. I want al-Qaeda to be scared. But then you read what al-Qaeda is. It's any U.S. citizen. They also say in the bill that the military can offensively shut down any websites in the U.S. they want preemptively if they don't agree with the mission of the USA, which means the foreign banks that are destroying America and our Bill of Rights and Constitution. I mean, yes, there are so many facets to this that, again, I don't have words to describe to you how serious and how out of control all of this is. It is mind-boggling. And then because it's all a military operation of deception, not our general military, but the big brain bugs on top that run it all, we have to contend with their psyop of denying that any of this is in there, as the major military publications admit there is, as the military begins to deploy on our streets, as the TSA all over the country sets up checkpoints until everybody's just acclimated to accept it. I mean, this is all beginning and unfolding and already launched right now. It isn't coming. It's here. And this week they're trying to pass a bill to shut down any website they want via the FBI, who just deploys the military to do it remotely or to physically go to your servers. I mean, this is trumping North Korea or Nazi Germany on paper when it comes to authoritarianism. Now, I've got a bunch of these clips we put together. Some of them we've never aired, some we have. But I think the first clip we've got, because this is teleprompter-free news, is Lieberman just a week ago acting incredibly creepy on the floor, the day before they passed it, in the Senate, talking about scaring people. And, of course, it's really for the American people. The internal terror training manuals. And we're going to do this tomorrow night, because I just thought of it watching this Lindsey Graham clip coming up, too. We're going to have clips of our government on record working with al-Qaeda, using them in Serbia, using them against Russia, using them recently against Iran, and using them against Muammar Gaddafi, and the al-Qaeda flag flying, and the underwear bomber being gotten on a plane by the U.S. government. And all of these people working for the criminals that run our nation as a pretext to menace the U.S. to give up our liberties. You got it? So when they say, if you're a citizen and you work with Al-Qaeda, but you read the fine print, it's everybody, it's any crime, you're going to disappear and we're going to torture you. They actually say that. And we want to scare you because we're old, creepy, sick men. Remember, these are guys that know full well that at their level of government, they run Al-Qaeda. I mean, so literally, they're talking about themselves here. These are tyrants and terrorists. These are Hitlers of our age, Stalins, Mao's. These are Kim Jong-il's. You're looking at it. And it's a bunch of weak, chicken-necked old men who get off on deploying forces and murdering people worldwide, talking all creepily how they want to scare people. They take innocent 12 and 13-year-olds to Gitmo and torture them on record to create fake Al-Qaeda to go out and carry out bombings. That's come out. So remember it. You are looking at slime bags that live to terrorize you and your family with a threat of terror. And by the way, later in the week, I'm going to do a report showing you 500 plus killed a year by elephants, 300 killed by crocodiles, a dozen or so by large sharks, hundreds and hundreds by water moccasin rattlesnakes alone, hundreds and hundreds by bees, and show you thousands killed by electrocution, tens of thousands, from water, and then terrorism way down there at the bottom. And when you watch them try to scare you, the terrorists are going to get you. So we got to use the army, and we got to let Corzine take your bank accounts, and we got to raise your taxes, and we got to feel your wife's breast and grab your children's genitals because Al-Qaeda. And let me tell you, if you work with Al-Qaeda, you're going to disappear forever, and we want to scare you. And you want a lawyer as a citizen? No, you don't get one. You know what? If we could get these criminals out of government and bring out all the stuff that we already know, all of you will get a trial, and you'll all get a jury, okay? Because we want the proof of what you are to come out before you are punished. I mean, folks, these are dangerous people, and so it's personal for all of us. These are dangerous tyrants who Cass Sunstein at the White House admits they want to arrest, quote, conspiracy theorists. That is people that think and know they're liars. You know these crooks are liars? You're a conspiracy theorist. You don't like Corzine taking your money? They said that's a conspiracy theory. The money's gone. He won't say where it went. He's been caught lying about it. And if you don't like it, you're a conspiracy theorist. I mean, could I just walk up on the street and rob an old lady at gunpoint? And she goes, how dare you rob me? And I say, it's a conspiracy theory, honey. This didn't happen. And she's like, oh, it's okay then. You called me a conspiracy theory. That's the mind games these dirtbags play with us. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of their crap. They're tyrants right out in front, testing the perch. You know how a parrot, before it steps onto something, it'll reach over and test to see if it's stable. They're like, are they going to let us rape them? Yeah, okay, we'll take it more. Hell, we took all the military's death benefits. We're shipping drugs in and getting caught. We shipped guns into Mexico and tried to blame the Second Amendment. Hell, there's nothing they won't do. Let's just use the military and declare the patriots terrorists and tell them it's Al-Qaeda. We're a bunch of old crooks, bunch of old hunchback bastards. This is fun. Nobody will stand up against us. I mean, you're looking at our version of Hitler. You're looking at people that will literally destroy freedom, that the whole world is scared of, who've got nuclear weapons out of control, and no one will call them on it. They hate my guts, too. I've had this from the highest level sources, including people that are inside Bilderberg. Ron Paul, they hate him. But they know they kill us. They only make us bigger. They know we're real men and not little pieces of crap like them. And I'm sorry to talk like this, but these people are absolute enemies of humanity and pose as the guardians of it when they run Al-Qaeda. Those are the bosses of Al-Qaeda I'm about to show you. There's the article, Indefinite Detention. Political Washington abolishes due process protections. Okay, let's go into the first clip. Here is the little coward chicken neck just savoring that he's about to fully overturn the Bill of Rights and Constitution in 1776. And I want them to be scared. You mean the underwear bomber you get on the plane? I want them to be afraid. You mean the Al-Qaeda you gave control of Libya to? I want them. No, he's thinking about you. He's on record wanting to shut down our free speech in America. He's talking about you. Not Al-Qaeda that works for him. Here it is.
When a member of Al-Qaeda or a similar associated terrorist group is captured, I want that person to be terrified about what's going to happen to them in American custody. I want them not to know what's going to happen. I want that the terror that they inflict on others to be felt